If you haven't heard about Anchor, let me tell you, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free, and free's always good. There's these really great creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. And then Anchor will take your podcast and distribute it for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple's Podcast, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need in one place to make a podcast. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. It's everything you need to make a podcast. Hi, and welcome everybody to the third episode of That's Some Crazy Shit with Kelly and James. I am Kelly Morgan, and my co-host is James Baez.
Hey.
So, James, how was your week?
It was a long week, to be honest.
We have made it another week in the history books. We survived.
Oh, God. It was touch and go, but yeah, we had survived.
We survived, so we are here to talk about some crazy shit. And you know what? This time things are a little different because we actually have a guest.
First guest.
Our first guest ever, Chef Bella B, is going to join us for the entire show. She's gracious enough to sponsor your segment. And before we get into anything, let's go ahead and do our housekeeping. So James, tell everybody, if you're new listening, give everybody our mission statement, our objective, and then I'll throw out our social media links and stuff.
All right, thanks, Kelly. So what we're trying to accomplish with our podcast is to talk about a variety of different subjects that just aren't mainstream by the water cooler type things, okay? We want to talk about crazy shit, paranormal stuff, just strange occurrences, strange places, synchronicity. We want to approach all these with an open mind, and hopefully we can get you excited enough about this subject to tune in more often or participate in our show and do some research for yourself. Get interested in it. That's how I got started.
Yeah, I just like to talk about stuff that people don't normally talk about, or things that you think about, you're like, man, that's some crazy shit. And by no means we are not experts, we never claim to be. So what we thought we would do is, we'll bring you some theory or some written information along with our opinion. We want to keep it open. We want to keep it positive. We do have social media. So last time we only had email, but now we actually have social media. We are legit. So we are on Instagram at @that's_some crazy shit. We're also on Twitter at @thatsomecrazyshit. We have an email address at which is thatsomecrazyshitpodcast@gmail.com. Yay! And James is still working on Facebook. We'll be on Facebook soon. So we're always welcome to feedback. And, if you want to talk about some crazy shit, let's talk about it. But with no further ado, James, go ahead and let's get started. Let's talk about some crazy shit.
All right, thanks, Kelly. I just wanted to tell you we are going to focus on flying humanoids today. We kind of talked about this before. There are so many flying humanoids. It is ridiculous. Anything from humans levitating to appear to be wearing jetpacks. I wanted to focus today on bat-winged humanoids.
Okay, but before you get into that, because I'm intrigued now, let's bring on your sponsor. Let's throw her out there. So, Cryptid Creatures is brought to you by Chef Bella B. Chef Bella B, thank you for joining us today. How are you, Chef Bella?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. So thank you so much for sponsoring James's segment and coming on. Are you going to hang out with us for the entire show?
Yeah, I'll hang out.
Great. So James, you got any questions for Chef Bella?
Well, first of all, I just wanted to tell her thank you for sending me some of her spices. I received the vegetable spice, a poultry spice, and a taco seasoning. So I'm going to use those soon, and I just wanted to tell her thank you. And if Bella, how did you get started with your interest in cooking?
Actually, it's because I ended my track career, my my athlete career, and then I tore my ACL, and then my mom worked late, and so I had to try to figure like cook dinner or whatever, and I discovered that you could put multiple different ingredients together and you can make multiple different flavors. So then I kind of just took it and ran with it. So
Uh,
I went to
That's pretty.
culinary school, and
And where
then
did
from
you go to
culinary
school at?
school, I just started working in restaurants, and then lo and behold, I'm here. And now I have a seasoning line, and I'm also on location at East Facts Tap here in Colorado, and I'm there 3 days a week, Wednesday, Friday, and Sundays. And yeah, so that's all she wrote.
Chef Bella, throw out your contact information if people want to check out your spices or your sauces or if they're on Instagram.
You can contact me. You can hit up my website, which is www.chefbellabkitchen.com. And then, like she said, out on Instagram, which is at Chef Bella B.
Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, James. I'm intrigued. Flying humanoids. Yeah, let's do it. That sounds crazy.
All right. So, in doing my research on this, I came across a gentleman, Lon Strickler. He has a site called Phantoms and Monsters, and his blog's been up since 2005, and so it's been up there a while. And I like to find older sites like this because these people tend to be a little more knowledgeable about this stuff since they've been doing it so long. I was unaware of the fact that in the Chicago area, there are so many sightings of these winged bat like creatures.
So, are these creatures like humans with wings, or they're? What do you mean bat-like? Help me out.
Okay, well, the descriptions that have been given of these creatures, they vary anywhere in height from 6 to 10 feet tall.
Six
They
to ten. Wait, 6 to 10 feet tall.
right, and
Okay.
I never realized how big they got
Okay,
until
that's
this.
pretty big. That's
That is
big.
really big to be flying around. That's really big.
Okay.
And there have been reports of moth-like creatures, but they tend to be more bat-like creatures in their wings are described as being a membrane, so more bat-like.
Okay.
And their descriptions are anywhere they have hair, fur type things. Sometimes they have, I don't know how you would describe it, the downy covering of a moth if you look at it. Sometimes they're covered in that. But
Okay, so wait. So I'm just trying to stay with you here. So they have cited these creatures in Chicago, is what you said.
yes, in the Chicago area, the city, the suburbs. So it's not like out in a rural area like you hear some of these sightings happen. And that's what I found was so intriguing.
So give me some dates. Like when's like give me the most recent time somebody in that area sighted one of these humanoid bat-like creatures.
Okay, so the most recent sighting that I found was February of 2019.
So just last year.
Right, just last year. And this was an interesting report. The gentleman said at first he actually thought it was a Bigfoot because it was so muscular. He could see the muscle definition in the arms, legs, chest area. That so he initially thought it was a Bigfoot. Okay, so
Okay.
that tells you its size, you know. But then he says that's when he noticed that it had these membranes between its arms and legs, you know, classic bat type wings. And
And
then
did
it
it
goes,
go
oh, go
ahead.
ahead.
No, I was
And
gonna
then
say
it proceeded to scream and fly towards the witness, and that's when he ran. So, and that's also seems to be part of the characteristics and behaviors, or excuse me, the behaviors of these animals is they always seem to let out a scream or a cry, I think almost a warning, and then they will fly towards the witness. And I wonder sometimes, you know, apes will do, or even bears and things like that will do a fake charge. They'll run after something, you know, just to kind of maybe set you back on your heels or send you on your way. And then they, you know, go ahead and take off. So I thought
so
that was interesting.
so are there any reports of these creatures like, scooping up small animals or hurting people or anything like that? Or are
Um,
people just are seeing them? Do you know, like, do people have like video?
yes, there's actually video of one of these creatures in Chicago. And when you look at the video, um, if you stop it, you see the shape of the creature. And, you know, the first thing that comes to my mind, you know, I want to be a little bit skeptical about it, is you see those flying suits that these people have now,
Right.
you know, and so I'm looking for that type of shape. You know, when you look at this picture, you don't see the puffiness of the suit. You know, there doesn't look to be like any man-made indications that this is a suit to me. You know, it looks really organic. It looks like a bat, a giant
Like
bat, without
like
maybe the head, without maybe the
like it
big bat
could
head.
be real, like it could be a real thing.
Really, honestly, you know, like I said, you know, I'm not an expert, and I would like to be able to analyze these photos myself. You know, where I could maybe blow it up and turn it and manipulate it a little bit so I could get a better feel for it. But yeah, I get the feeling that this was legit.
So this guy you talked about in the beginning, this Lon Strickler guy,
Yes,
you
yes.
said that his blog's been up since 2005. So he's got a lot of different sightings of these things, or what does he do? Does he hunt these things? What does he do?
Well, he is based, I want to say, in the Illinois, Chicago area. So he has a lot of his researches in that area, uh, Bigfoot, flying creatures, things like that. When you go to his website, it has a lot of different resources you can pull up. And it's funny because when I went, there was actually two books that I would like to get on the subject. And I have to, it's funny, I have two cousins that live in Chicago. And I
Have
need to
they
talk.
seen it?
I
Have
know
they
I
seen
haven't
it?
talked to them. I need to contact them, reach out and say, hey guys, what's up? You know, this stuff's going on and you never told me. Have you ever seen it? So I'm gonna have to reach out to those guys and see what's going on.
Okay, so we got flying humanoids in Chicago, or no, I'm sorry, not humanoids. You said they were more like bat-like creatures,
Yeah, bat-like
right?
creatures.
What else you got?
Well, we could talk a little bit about their. You asked about if there was any reports of them hurting anyone.
Yeah.
So in my research, I didn't find any reports of them actually hurting anyone. There was a report from West Virginia in 1967, where a woman claims that one of these bat creatures ate her German Shepherd.
Oh my God, it ate her dog?
That's what it said.
Wow.
Uh, and this was kind of interesting. At the end, the report says, but there is no indication that the bat-like creature prefers German Shepherds.
Gotcha. So your dogs are, well, I would imagine there's quite a few dogs in the Chicago area, and those dogs seem to be safe.
Yeah, but you have to think there's so many straight. In Chicago there's coyotes.
Yeah, okay. So, I
So
mean, are you
you
saying
got
that these
these.
bat-like creatures could be eating the coyotes?
Oh, they could be eating anything they wanted.
I wonder what they do eat. Do you know? Do they say there like any reports on like what they eat?
It's funny. I could never find anything about that. Because they're just mostly sightings.
So, okay,
Um,
so people have cited them, but there's never been any DNA or any trace evidence, hair, whatever. Has that stuff that you know of ever been found with these bat-like creatures?
Not in my research. I would be surprised if there weren't any. Oh, real quick side note. Remember we talked about environmental DNA?
Yes.
Okay, so as I was doing some more research into this, these people were using environmental DNA to prove a lake monster up in Russia. And while doing this, they actually found an undiscovered um, life form.
Well,
And so I thought,
what was it?
so they're diatoms, and diatoms are just a microscopic life form. You know, you want to think. I mean, most people are familiar with plankton. Think
Okay,
plankton, only super super small.
gotcha. So they
Okay.
found this in that lake, but that's not a lake monster.
No, but I found it interesting that they were looking for evidence of a lake monster, and then they found life that they didn't even know existed in that lake.
Cool.
So the point I'm trying to make is, maybe someday scientists will be trying to, find a different elephant breed or something and end up finding a whole different unknown creature.
How do you know they already haven't?
I don't.
I mean, there's probably lots of creatures out there. I would imagine. And when you say stuff like that, I instantly go to the ocean because the ocean is so very, very deep. I don't know if we'll ever be able to get to the bottom of the ocean, but I'm sure there's stuff swimming down there that we've never seen before.
Oh yeah, well that's it. And this story proves that point exactly. We don't know. And Kelly, even some of these lakes, are 1,000 feet deep. We'll never get that deep in a lake, much less the ocean.
Yeah,
So yeah, I mean, we don't know what's going on out there.
that's
But I
interesting.
also find it's interesting that all these sightings of this bat creature have occurred over large bodies of water.
Well, they say that Lake Michigan itself has got some crazy shit going on. They've
Oh,
got a lot of weird stuff. They've got sightings of UFOs. You've got these
yeah.
bat creatures. I don't know much about Lake Michigan, but I have heard that that place has got some crazy shit, which is where they're seeing I want to call them humanoids but they're not. They're bat-like creatures. I guess they are human bats. Batman, maybe would be a good name.
Man bat.
Man bat would be a better name, right? So interesting. Anything else on flying bat creatures?
I just I'm trying. Well, we did talk about well, did I do talk about the behavior? Yeah, we did. We talked about how they kind of try to scare the witnesses and things like that. What I want to do, we were just talking about Lake Michigan, the Great Lakes, Cal. The Great Lakes are some crazy shit. I've flown over them. before, and it's a trip because you know I've flown over big lakes, you know, and I didn't realize how big those were. You're flying over, you hit water, and you keep flying, and you're like, "This is a big damn light," you know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shit that happens. They see uh, UFOs, like you talk about UFOs. There's abductions, disappearances, these bat creatures. You know, there's some crazy shit going on up there.
Yeah,
And
that's what
in
I've heard.
fact, it's so crazy that they have a policy, the Coast Guard, where you have to make radio contact with the Coast Guard every 15 minutes. If you don't, that's if you're on the water or flying over the water. Okay. If you don't initiate that contact every 15 minutes, they will automatically trigger a search and rescue mission or a search and rescue operation.
Really? That
That's
that's
how
true? That's true?
that's how crazy that shit is up there.
I did not know that. I did not know that. Huh.
Yeah. So I would like to do something in the future on you know the Great Lakes because and once again it's just water. For some reason, water always play. You know, there's always large bodies of water around these paranormal events.
Interesting. Well, I think that the human bat or man bat, as we said, was kind of cool. Anything else?
Probably not for today. What I'm going to start doing, since we're coming up on Halloween, start maybe hitting the classic, the vampire, since that's very Halloweeny.
Ooh, yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Vampires, some crazy shit. And you know what? This is my thing about vampires. I'm gonna put it out there, okay? Back in my day, vampires were scary, ominous creatures that came in the night and sucked your blood, right? Nowadays, vampires go to high school and college and glitter in the rain and play baseball. I think that's some crazy shit and that's some bullshit. I'm just gonna put it out there. So can we stick with the real vampires, James? Like the real lore
The
of
classic.
vampires?
Yeah, we
Yes.
can do the classic.
Yeah, not this, I mean, I know there are people that do the blood thing and say they're vampires and all that, but I I'm just saying. That's just me. I'll get off my soapbox.
Well, I have a quick question for the chef.
Yes.
So, what do you think about these? Do you have an opinion on these bat creatures?
Um, you know what? I think they're very much. I mean, this is. I think they're very much. I mean, they very well could be real.
Have
Is
you ever
James?
I
heard of
mean,
them
because
before?
if you think about it, like when you guys touched on the ocean, like the ocean is so vast. Like there's so much of the ocean that we haven't discovered. So who's to say that there's not creatures? And honestly, even like when the Discovery Channel and stuff does like Shark Week or something, each time they do every year that they do Shark Week, they discover at least 10 to like 30 new species of shark or fish. That's every year.
And that's
So
crazy.
That's
like
crazy.
that's crazy, right? So then think about like the land. I'm pretty sure we haven't covered the like all of Earth's landmass. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure there's land and stuff like land on this earth that has been untouched that a human has not even nearly come in contact with.
Interesting.
So
Oh, that's,
who's
I
not to
mean,
say that
there
these
are
bat
places, yeah, in
creatures don't
Alaska
exist?
So,
that
Chef
are,
Bella, bat creatures exist? Yes, no?
Yeah.
James, bat creatures exist? Yes, no?
I would have to say with the research I did, yes.
Yeah, I think they probably
Or,
exist too.
you know, I don't want to say I'm hedging, but I tend to think they exist. Once again, I don't want to influence anyone. Go check it out. Find out for yourself.
Yeah, there's lots of information out there, so you can definitely go find out. Especially, there's lots of websites. There's video. Go to YouTube. You can definitely find out a lot. Okay, thank you, James.
No
Bella.
problem.
All right, so moving on. So, um, I'm gonna go into my crazy shit, and my crazy shit is sponsored by Bright Headed Publishing Company (LLC). You can reach them at www dot bright-headedpublishing.com. They're also on Instagram at BHPLCC, and they're also on Facebook at Bright Headed Publishing. They have they're actually my publisher, so we've got my book out. You Sound White. If you get a chance, go check it out on Amazon. All right, so I thought I would talk about something that we all do. So something that we can all relate to. We all do it, even if we don't remember doing it, and that is dreaming. I think dreams are crazy shit. I've had some crazy dreams. I think everybody's like woke up sometimes and be like, "Oh my God, I had the craziest dream." And dreams are one of those things that have been studied for a long time, but I believe, well, as it stands today, there's not any like real concrete research on dreams, like how to interpret your dreams and all of that good stuff. So when I think about my dreams lately, I just haven't been remembering my dreams. I don't remember my dreams. James, do you remember most of the time? Do you remember your dreams?
I'll remember him for a short time after I awake. But then after a while, I tend to forget him as the day goes on. Some dreams I remember forever. I mean, there's dreams I've had when I was a kid that I still remember.
Right. And what about you, Chef Bella? Do you remember do you usually remember your dreams?
I not really. I mean, I like James. I have a couple childhood dreams that I remember, but I usually just there's something in my dream that stands out, whether it's like an object or a person or a place. I remember those, but not the actual dream.
Yeah. Dreams are crazy shit. And here's something else I thought that was really interesting about dreams. Only around 12% of people dream in black and white, which means most people dream in color. And I think I've had a black and white dream. I'm really not sure I don't know. I don't think in my dream I'm really paying attention, but sometimes in your dream you may remember a red car, or I had a blue suit on or something like that. But for the most part, everybody dreams in color. So I thought that was really interesting. So I thought I would tell you guys the different types of dreams, and so you'll kind of get an idea, and we can talk about them. Why, if you've had these types of dreams. So the first one are daydreams, and when you're daydreaming, you are semi-awake. Obviously, you're not asleep, but you're not fully checked in either. Right? So usually a daydream will start with some type of thought or memory or maybe a fantasy, and then your imagination just runs away with it. I do sometimes catch myself daydreaming. I didn't realize that's what I was doing until I, did my research on dreams. But yeah, sometimes I'll just have a thought and it will just run away in my head, and that's a daydream. Do you daydream? Do you guys daydream?
Right now,
Thanks, James.
no. You know where I daydream? I'll daydream at training when I have to go to training for work. Sometimes I'm out because you can only have training for so many years before you don't know that. You know what I mean? So I'll check out.
Right.
I'll daydream during training.
What about you, Chef Bella? Do you daydream a lot?
I don't think so. No.
No, and not
Mm-mm.
everybody does daydream a lot. It's just a type of dream. And the other type are just normal standard dreams, which everybody does. And what makes a dream normal or standard is it's just a dream where you have no idea you're dreaming until you wake up. It is just a typical dream. You could be a rap, doing a rap with the Pope, and it just seems normal at the time, right? It's not a big deal, and you accept your dream as reality. it's not until you wake up that you're like, damn, that was some crazy shit, right? So that
Mm.
is a normal standard dream, right? Now, here's the crazy shit about dreams. Did you know that if you don't dream, you can actually die? Eventually, if you do not dream, you will die. And it's called fatal familia insomnia. And basically, the brain forgets how to sleep. It's crazy,
Mm.
I've
you
had
know.
bouts of that.
But no, this is a real thing where it happens over in stages where at first you have insomnia and it lasts for about 4 months. Then it turns into sleep deprivation and you start getting panic attacks and hallucinations. Then it causes rapid weight loss and mental functioning because you still aren't sleeping. And then finally, you suffer from dementia and slip into a coma and die over about a 6 month time. It's rare, but it is a real thing. So, and they're saying, the brain forgets how to sleep. You're not dreaming. Eventually, that will kill you. It's
So is
saying
it you dying of not dreaming, or is it you dying because of lack of sleep?
they say
Yeah,
a little
the
bit of both.
stress. Do you have a heart attack or?
Well, they say a little bit of both, right? They say a little bit of both. So you're obviously not sleeping, so you're not dreaming, right? And
Mm,
because they say that, and I'll get more into dreams, but ultimately you're dying because you're not sleeping, right?
gotcha.
Just thought it was interesting, that is a real thing. Um,
Cool.
so the next type of dream is a lucid dream. And lucid dreams are a trip because that's where you are asleep, but you know you are dreaming and you control what happens in the dream. So you direct the dream. Think of the movie Inception with Leonardo DiCaprio. That would be an example of lucid dreams. They would go into people's dreams. They knew that they were not dreaming. They knew that they were dreaming, I mean, and they would control the direction of the dream. There are courses you can take to lucid dream. That you can, there's YouTube videos that say there are, binaural beats that will put you in to a lucid dream state. And so they say there are books to teach you if you want to learn. They say that you can fulfill your desires by lucid dreaming. You guys
Hmm.
ever lucid dream before?
No, I've never lucid dream. I had a coworker before, um, who would tell me about his lucid dreams.
What about
He
you?
he mastered it.
Cool. What about you, JB? You ever lucid dream?
Um, I okay. So this is what I consider my lucid dreams. I never have control over my dream. I never really try to, but I notice at a very early age if I were having a nightmare, I can at that point step in and say, this is just a nightmare, man. You need to wake up.
Well, that is a component of lucid dreaming because you know that you are dreaming. You are aware in your dream that you are dreaming.
But up until that point, I had no desire to control it or try to control it. You know what I mean?
Well,
To the point where it's like, this sucks. I'm out. That's when I can step in and do it.
interesting. So, and a lot of times when people talk about lucid dreaming, they talk about like leaving the planet and going to another universe and all types
Yeah,
of
I've
stuff.
never done anything
Right.
like that.
I've never had a lucid dream, so I don't know anything what that feels like. I just thought it was some crazy shit. I thought it was interesting. The next type of dream you can have is a false awakening. And a false awakening is where it's like this. You wake up as normal, you get dressed, you go to the bathroom, you do everything, and then halfway you realize, oh my God, I'm still asleep. I'm still dreaming. You're not really awake. You had a dream about being awake and you thought you were awake, but you really weren't awake. And they do that a lot in movies. Horror movies will do that, where the person goes through something and they think they're awake, and all of a sudden you realize they're not awake, they're still asleep. That is a false awakening. That's never happened to me, really. Have you guys had a false awakening?
Yeah,
No. I'll go, Rebecca. I never have. You go.
I have. Oh, yeah. Where you feel
Okay.
like it's like you I feel like it's you thinking about what you want to do or what you're going to do. Like I've had it to where I got up, I went to the bathroom, I did this, and then somewhere, like you said, somewhere in between wherever, at some point, it's just like, oh shit, I'm still laying in the bed.
Yeah, you're dreaming. That is a false awakening. Yep. And they're usually very vivid. They're usually extremely vivid. They feel very real, right? That is a false awakening. Next type of dream, nightmares. And so, nightmares in the Western world, nightmares are any normal dreams that have a very scary twist, right? In a nightmare, you don't know that you're dreaming. So, the unconscious mind processes everything like it's really happening. And sometimes nightmares can be so vivid that your sensory system is triggered and you can even feel pain in your nightmares. I haven't had a nightmare in God, it's been years. I mean, years since I've had a nightmare. You guys have nightmares?
I've had a nightmare like that where I was so convinced that it was real. Do you remember the house I grew up in, Cal?
Yeah.
So I had that. My bedroom was at the front of the house, and I used to sleep with that window open. Well, one night I swore I heard a voice tell me, "You really should sleep with this window open."
Ooh, that's some scary shit.
It did. It scared the shit out of me, you know. And so I kind of really quietly rolled off the bed onto the floor, and I just sat there and I listened and I listened. And I don't know to this day if it was real or if it was a dream.
That's scary. What
It
about you?
scared me. I didn't sleep with that window open ever again in that house.
What about you, Chef Bella?
Um, I've I've had uh, I've had a couple nightmares. Um, I've had one to where I got stabbed in the hand,
Did you feel it?
and when I woke up, it my hand was throbbing.
Yeah, they say that nightmares can do that. They can be very unnerving. And usually, according to dream analysis, being chased in a nightmare represents our evolutionary fear of being hunted. So, I guess as people, we're not really trying to be hunted, but we do have a fear of being hunted.
Mm.
Well, yeah, I think that, yeah, that makes sense. I don't want
Yeah,
to get hunted.
I don't think any of us do. So, next type of dream, reoccurring. So a reoccurring dream is where you have the same dream over and over. A lot of times they say that it comes because you haven't acknowledged something in your life or you've got stress, and usually it's because there's a problem that you haven't corrected. And the theory is that people who experience reoccurring dreams have had some sort of a trauma in the past that they're trying to deal with. Now I have had two reoccurring dreams. I haven't had them in years, and I mean a long time, but I remember both of these dreams vividly because they are both zombie dreams. And anybody who knows me knows I do not like zombies. I
Oh,
don't like anything to do with
zombies.
zombies. And I have had two reoccurring zombie dreams where I am running from the zombies with somebody. In the first dream, I'm running with my best friend Chen. We run away from the zombies, and we jump in the car, and I put my seatbelt on, and and I'm like, oh, we got away, and I turn and look at her, and she's a zombie, and she lunges at me, and I had that dream over and over and over again. Then I had another zombie dream where I'm by myself. I'm running from I'm always running too in these dreams. I'm running from the zombies. I get away, and in my infinite wisdom, I decide to jump on a city bus. Don't ask me why. I just do. I jump on the bus, and guess what? Everybody on the bus is a zombie. And I've had that reoccurring dream over and over again. So I know what that. I don't know what trauma I've had with zombies in the past, but I do not like zombies. So that's my reoccurring dream.
And what's your deal with mass transit?
I don't know. I don't know why I would jump. Why, if you're just running from zombies, do you jump on the bus? Do you? I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't
Okay,
know. Yeah.
next type of dream, you guys, are sex dreams. Now, here's some interesting stuff about sex dreams. Yes, women can have wet dreams. So men aren't the only ones. Sex dreams are really not all that common, they say. Only 4% of men and women report dreaming about sex in research. Um, Sex dreams are usually about one thing. They are about sex. Yeah, it's pretty forward. And
Uh-uh.
and sleep position matters.
Position does matter
Well, it matters in
in
the position
sex
and in the way that you sleep.
and
So
in
they
sleep.
say you are more likely to dream about sex if you sleep face down. So FYI, you're trying to have some sex dreams, face down, people. That'll do it for you, according to this research that I found on sex dreams.
I'd suffocate myself.
Interesting.
So another interesting thing or some crazy shit I found out about dreams is that they say scientists, these researchers believe that they are getting close to being able to record your dreams. Right? So there's this guy, he's a neuroscientist in at Northwest University. His name is Moran Cerf, CERF. And so what he's been doing is he studies decision-making processes. So what he's been doing is he's been putting electrodes on the brains of people who are having brain surgery to listen to the activity of specific brain cells. And he says that this gives him a gist of what people are thinking about. So he can say that you dreamed about your mom and dad, but he couldn't tell you what your mom was wearing. And he says he can do this. And they say that the images are gonna get clearer. There's another researcher in Japan, and we said his name was uh, Yukayashi.
Yukiyashi Kamatani.
Thank you, James, from Kyoto University, and he's already started reconstructing images from a waking person's mind using a machine that measures brain activity. And he believes that he can take that same technology and do it while you are dreaming. So they will be able to record your dreams. So now what happens? Do we start spying on one another's dreams? Do companies
That's crazy shit.
do companies start placing ads in our dreams? Like, you know how they place ads on your phone? You know, now do they start placing ads in our dreams?
Yeah, you'll want something to drink, and like a Budweiser will show up.
You know, that's some crazy shit,
Have
right?
a
That's
cool
crazy.
Budweiser.
So that's the stuff that they can do with dreams. And so I got one more thing for you guys, if you guys are interested, because I really like, you know, because I think everybody can relate when it comes to dreams. But I have a quick dream quiz for you guys. Okay, these are true or false questions. You guys out there play along, and then I'll tell you what the answers are as we go. Okay, so odor can affect the quality of your dream. True or false?
True.
Okay.
Yes, it can. So you will dream better if you are smelling something nice than if you are smelling something bad, right?
Like
And
the
they did
just lavender.
yeah, and they did this in a study, right? So people that smelled roses dreamt good dreams, and people who had the smell of like sulfur, rotten eggs had bad dreams, nightmares. Um, Dreams may help you store memories. True or false?
Dreams may
True.
help you store memories.
Yep, help your brain store memories.
I would say
Dreams,
true.
Chef Bella.
I said true.
Yeah, so yeah, some researchers do believe that dreams are just simply a part of sleep, no big deal. But a lot of other researchers believe that not only does it help you store your memories, but it helps you actually solve problems and deal with your emotions, be able to help you manage your emotions. So that's what they say about that part of dreams. Um, some medications cause bad dreams. True or false?
True.
True.
Very true. You need an example? Ambien. That shit is crazy. If you've
I've heard
ever
bad
taken it,
things
hey,
about
I've
Ambien.
taken Ambien. It is some crazy shit. Okay? Yes. It can affect how you dream. Absolutely. Okay, number 4. Women report having nightmares more than men. True or false?
True.
Chef Bella?
Mm, false.
It is actually true. In sleep studies, women have known to have scarier dreams, but then also women actually do a better job of recalling their dreams than
And
men.
I just have to put women probably have more scary dreams because they're Men are scary.
Oh my God. Yeah, we have to deal with all your shit. So we're scared shitless
I
every day.
just, and I'm a dude, you know, so I'll probably catch flack with that, but I can see that, we don't, I mean, dudes don't have to deal with, oh,
And women, we deal with a lot of shit,
yeah,
you
you
know.
do. I
We
agree.
do. We do. Okay. Here's another one. It's easy to tell what your dreams mean. True or false?
False. I said
False.
false.
Yeah, while some dreams are very straightforward, there is no one size fits all. So it's recommended, they recommend that you ditch the dream books.
We
You
got to
know,
talk about those people
yeah,
that, yeah.
they recommend that you ditch the dream books and that you ask yourself what you think your dream means. Right? Okay. Number 6, you can get better at remembering your dreams. True or false?
True. I say true.
True.
Very true. If they say that you should write them down immediately when you wake up and keep a dream journal.
So I
Okay.
can never remember where I put it before I forget my dream.
It should be right next to your bed. Right. So right when you wake up, you should be writing down what you dreamt. Number 7, people from different cultures have different dreams. True or
Well,
false?
I would think that'd be true.
I
It's
would
a
say that
weird,
it's true.
it's a weird question, but for the most part, uh, dreams are similar for people in the same culture, is what they're saying. But dreams vary by person to person. Number 8, some people don't dream.
False. We just talked about that.
Yep, everyone dreams. Even if you don't remember, you have dreamt. Number 9, people who were born blind do not have visual dreams.
They have visual dreams, just not what we would say, or
True or false?
I think they do.
These are true or
True.
false questions.
True.
False. Studies have shown that those who are born blind or who have gone blind at a very young age do not have visual dreams. However, those who lost their sight later in life do have visual dreams. And the last one, people only dream in REM sleep, which is rapid eye movement. True or false?
True.
False.
False. You cycle between non-REM and REM, and you dream in both states, but your dreams are much more vivid in REM.
Oh.
Yeah, so you learn something about dreams. Dreams are crazy. The funny thing about dreams, there's songs, there's books, there's movies, there's all types of stuff about dreams, and dreams I don't believe will ever be an exact science. We'll never really know. I mean, they're your dreams, right?
Yeah.
They're your
Yeah.
dreams.
Well, and it's how
And
you
that's what
interpret them.
Yeah, and that's what makes it crazy shit, you know? So yeah, thank you guys for participating in my quiz. We're gonna move on. We're gonna move on to random bullshit. So I got some random bullshit for you guys, and I thought I would actually just kind of generate your thoughts. I'm gonna call it cartoon, comics, and shit. Okay?
Cartoon
Ready?
comics.
Cartoons. All right.
Cartoons,
Hit me.
comics, and shit. James and Chef Bella, here we go. Favorite cartoon as a kid?
Super
Oh,
Friends.
Super Friends, James, the Justice League
The
Super Friends,
Justice League, yeah.
old school, Chef
Old
Bella,
school.
I
only
don't just
one,
have one. I have a
only
couple.
one, only one.
Uh, let's do Tailspin.
Tailspin. Okay, favorite cartoon now?
Any of the DC animated ones.
I'm going to say probably Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty's a good one.
I'm gonna
See, I
probably
don't. I'm gonna have to watch that.
That's probably a good one. For me, favorite cartoon as a kid, I gotta go with Looney Tunes. Those were probably my favorite. Favorite cartoon now, it's not on anymore, but King of the Hill was my shit. Used to love that shit. I don't know why. I loved it. I thought it was funny. All right. So
You
that's
like that better than Batman?
you know what? You're right, James. You got me. the Batman is probably the best, but that just goes right into the next one, which is comics, right?
Mm.
All right, so we're going into comics. That was the cartoons of the random bullshit. This is the comic section of the random bullshit, right? Now, we all know that when you think comic and comic books, you got the Marvel line out there with Captain America and Iron Man, and you got the DC with lame Batman and lame Superman. That's my opinion, but you know what I'm saying. Didn't care for them. However, if you could pick your superpower, what would it be, James?
Mine would be super intelligence.
Really? And what would you do with that super intelligence?
Anything I wanted to.
Wow, that's so
If I wanted to fly, I would be able to invent something. Yeah, if I wanted to solve a problem, I would just do it
you
mathematically
would
or
have
whatever.
like you would have like super intelligence. Wouldn't you want to like help the world? You just want to be in your basement. Oh, I think I'll make something that flies because I'm super smart. Wouldn't you want to be like out there saving the world? It's your superpower.
Well, I could do it on my laptop, man.
Really?
You
You could
could.
just say,
I
you know what? Okay, we need a more efficient energy solution. Let me type something in because I'm super intelligent.
And
Hey,
you
and I come up with the answer, and I could just put send, and it would go everywhere.
so you're like linked into the internet. Like you're that smart.
I am
That's lame.
that
You should be
smart.
out. You should be out in front of the people, saving the world. Boo, Bella. What is your superpower?
Okay, you better break with the good one then.
right.
Not you, Bella. You're okay.
I think that I always go back to um like on some mystique type, like a shapeshifter,
So
basically.
you would be a shapeshifter.
I would be a shapeshifter.
So if you were a shapeshifter and that's your superpower, are you shapeshifting to save the world? Or are you shapeshifting for your own stuff? What are you doing with that superpower?
Be
Probably a
careful
little bit of
because you
both.
will be judged.
Probably a little bit of both.
A little bit of both?
Probably a little bit of
I sense some
pleasure on my end.
hesitation.
Like probably. And then, every now and then I might get out there and I might,
Yeah.
save the world, you know? But on my days off of saving the world, I'm probably doing it for my own pleasure.
Gotcha. Gotcha. My superpower,
Oh,
but
that's
honestly,
lame.
you, you think her shape? Well, her shape shifting. Yeah, I mean,
No, not Rebecca's yours.
mine is lame. Whenever
Yeah.
I say it's my superpower is lame, no matter what it is.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
He said it was lame already. You don't even know what my superpower is.
Well, remember, I'm super intelligent, so I know. Go ahead.
My superpower is that I don't have a superpower. That is
Oh.
power.
You gotta be kidding me.
Boo!
Serious.
You
Oh my
don't like
God, that's deep.
that is deep, huh?
Yeah.
I got you both. Yeah, that's my superpower.
Well,
Now, thank you
whatever.
guys for playing random bullshit with me. I just thought that would be fun. So we got the cartoon, we got the comics, and now we got the stuff. So I just got one question for you that I think I've asked over my time. This is the last one.
Well,
Um, Go
could
ahead,
I
James.
do? I wanted to, before I forgot, which I didn't until now. We've had some compliments on our logo.
Oh yeah,
And so I wanted to shout out to Marissa Valdez. Thank you for doing that. It looks
yeah.
very nice and brings a little bit of professionalism.
It really does. Thank you so much. We are legit.
Yeah.
We are legit. So I just have a question that I just, want to kind of end with because it's just some crazy shit that I think about. And it's, when I've asked people this before and they've kind of looked at me kind of sideways. So I'm just going to throw it out there because I think it's some crazy shit. Um, So for dogs, is is barking a universal language for dogs?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, let me finish.
Oh, go ahead.
And
Sorry.
because
No.
and I guess my example is if I'm a dog and I've been born and grown up in Italy, do I understand a dog that's been born and grown up in, say, Australia? Do I
Do I say,
bark in a
do I
do I
say no
bark
now?
do I bark in Italian, or just is
Yes.
barking universal?
No. It's just I believe it's you bark in Italian or you bark in Japanese. But it would it's interesting because what if if they had a canine universal language plus their local dialect?
So that would make them bilingual.
Right.
What do you think, Chef Bella?
Well, wouldn't dogs be bilingual?
That was my question. You know, are
Well,
dogs
because I guess I think about it when they train dogs like German Shepherds, a lot of their training is in German.
That's
right?
true.
But
Right?
if you tell a German Shepherd to sit or, come in English, it still understands you, but it also understands German commands. So wouldn't that be a bilingual dog?
But the question is does when the dog barks, is the dog barking is
I
that a
think the
universal
barking
language?
is I think the barking is like it's a dialect, like it has a different dialect to it. But I think overall, you might they might still they still have like a universal communication, I believe. But I think maybe it's like, it's like you talking to someone from Italy or you talking to someone from Korea. Like if you guys like still spoke English or like communicated with each other, that Italian person is gonna have an Italian accent,
So you're
just like
saying
that Korean is gonna
there's
have
an Italian accent in
right.
barking?
Yeah. Maybe it's an accent they have.
That's some crazy shit.
Just
But
get
then
you
what if it's like Scooby Doo and you're like, oh, I know what he's saying. He's like, "Rrr, rrr, rrr." You know what he's saying.
That's
or maybe it's like I don't know. I don't know how to do it like an Italian. Like I don't know how that would sound.
I want to thank you guys for hanging out, listening to us today on That's Some Crazy Shit. We will be back next week with some more crazy shit. Not sure what I'm going to talk about. James, you want to throw anything out there?
I'm never sure what I'm going to talk about, but if you have any ideas, let me know.
Yep, you can reach us on email at that's some crazy shit podcast at gmail.com. We're on Instagram at that's underscore some crazy shit. And we're also on Twitter at that's some crazy shit. So it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. My name is Kelly Morgan,
And I'm James Baez.
and you've been listening to That's Some Crazy Shit.
Until next